Alright, so welcome to part 2 of the Stargate series. I had a request to do the Mastadge. I still haven't figured out how to say it. The Beast of Burden next, and so here we are. Since it has Skarra, the rebel leader here, I figured we'd look at his character as well. We'll start with this thing since I'm curious to see what it looks like. It actually has quite a bit of weight to it. Don't forget to get the Stargate video game from Acclaim. It has a shooting catapult launcher on what appears to be this kind of sand sled that gets dragged behind the Beast of Burden, which I assume is some kind of native animal to Abydos. According to the back, they are domesticated beasts of burden that serve the villagers of Nagata. A friendly cross between a camel, buffalo, and lovable sheepdog. They're loyal animals capable of withstanding the brutal sandstones of the planet Abydos. You can reach speed up to 35 miles an hour over the planet's desert landscape, making them an excellent form of transportation, especially during a battle when you put a sled that launches cogs at people. It's not a cog at all, it's a mega blast bomb apparently. I just gotta say, this is a really poor drawing on the back here. I guess they couldn't be bothered to do any product photography and they just got this really crummy line drawing. In which country are the pyramids located? I'm gonna go ahead and guess that that's Egypt. It looks like this thing was actually not quite new, but semi-new. It looks like it has been partially assembled. I'm seeing yarn in here. That is not at all what I expected. It's instructions, oh my god. Wow. That's really something. Wow, that's really gross. It's a nice sculpt on what's underneath, but the addition of the hair on the outside, I guess somebody looked at this and figured it wasn't shaggy enough, so they glued a whole bunch of yarn to it. It's made of kind of a hollow vinyl for the most part. There's not a whole lot of substance to it. It's pretty bendable. And this is the shepherd's saddle with battle sled back here. And looks like we got gypped out of one mega blast bomb. We only have 2. Comes with instructions, so it looks like there was some assembly that it would have normally been had to have done, but it's been done for us. So here is the Mastadge, or however you pronounce it, with its harness attached and the sled that it drags behind it. What's kind of concerning is that the connection between the animal and the sled is only held on by friction, really, of this rubber piece sitting over the yarn. There's no actual connection between the sled and the animal, so I mean, it seems to work for the most part. It's just kind of interesting because this harness doesn't even attach to this piece. It's really just an independent loop of rubber. The mechanism that fires the catapult for the mega bombs is interesting because it doesn't have the usual lock that you expect from kind of spring-loaded toys, and it's not spring-loaded at all. It's a rubber band. It's held in place by this actual lever here, so to fire you. So when it's loaded, wow, that actually flung it quite a ways. I'll have to go find that before the cats do. Skarra is featured on the box, riding the battle sled. He comes with a collectible version of that beast thing with its sled on it too. He also comes with a shooting rebel launcher, which at first blush sure sounds like that it's supposed to fire other rebels. So in the movie he was kind of a young kid who was I believe the son of the leader of the village that they run into, who is very rebellious and kind of leads the charge at the end when the slaves rise up against Ra. On his card, he's the unofficial leader of the shepherd boys of Abydos. They are the caretakers of the beasts. He's mischievous but smart. He becomes fascinated with Colonel O'Neill and dreams of becoming just like him, a courageous warrior and leader of men. I believe that O'Neill gives him a cigarette at one point and then laughs at him for coughing at it. But he leads the revolt in the end that kind of saves our Earthling heroes' bacon. And just like the other figures in this line, he's got a removable hat. There you go. I guess when you compare it to the others, he looks quite a bit more like the character in the movie, and he's wearing one of their fatigue jackets, which I think he's even he even does in the movie. I'll give him more points for accuracy than the other guys. And his tiny Cracker Jack box prize of a yak thing here. His Rebel launcher actually looks more futuristic than the ones that O'Neill and Daniel came with, since it's not held together by string. And it has an underslung Gatling gun here, so I'm assuming this was sourced from another product line, maybe late G.I. Joe, 90s G.I. Joe maybe. It seems to have both of a handle and a slot for a hand to hold here, but again, it's, you know, I don't think he was really made to hold it this way, and the handle's probably what you're the handle's probably what you're supposed to do, but I don't know, these things seem like they were such an extreme afterthought that I'm not even gonna bother. And interestingly enough, he comes with a repurposed Trident gun, which was Monkey Wrench's gun from the Dreadnoks in G.I. Joe, who were Zartan's minions. This looks like it's a pretty soft mold of the original weapon. I do kind of wonder if this is supposed to, they figured like this looked like something a native Abadosian would have for a weapon, even though they didn't have any weapons at all. It's a really odd weapon. I assume it fires a trident and then reels it back in. I don't know. The Dreadnoks were kind of silly. And here we have Skarra on the back of his beloved beast of burden with his catapult sled that fires explosives. Like I said before, the sculpt on the animal isn't bad. I think the yarn was kind of a poor choice and doesn't really enhance the look of it that much. Seems like if they had done this out of a soft rubber, they could have achieved the same effect without it looking just kind of so cheeseball. Overall, kind of a surprise out of the box. The figure not so much. He's about the same quality as the others, with his kind of strange colors and kind of generic sculpt, especially on his face. I do think he does look more like the movie version of the character than definitely Daniel or Neil did. And, we have just one more of the hero characters left, 4 bad guys, and 2 more vehicles to go. But as always, thanks for watching.